Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Ray Stay Coastin' Podcast. I'm your host Ray, joined by my co-host Cubby. We are dwelling in his little comfort tent right now. We either have Tent Tuesdays or Tent Thursdays where we really just relax, decompress. I usually don't make myself available to like phone calls and texts, and it's really just mommy Cammy time. Right, and so he really loves that. Most times we're doing our own thing, but together. I'll either be reading a book or scrolling or crafting, and he's usually relaxing, spelling, doing math, or playing with his figurines. Today's episode that I wanted to talk to you about is a lot of people ask me how I manage his frustration and his anger with his delay with words, right? Which is a great question. I think there is no right or wrong answer to that. I think that there are times, it ebbs and flows, right? There are times where I feel like we have it down to a science, and then there are other times where it's like, okay, we're back to square one, right? What you notice in his mouth right now is one of these chewy sticks, right? These chewy sticks, or just the chewy in general, have been really, really great when he's frustrated and he cannot get his words out, or maybe I'm not understanding exactly what he wants, or he's having a hard time conveying his thoughts or emotions at the time. These have been really, really awesome and just such a calming tool and a saving grace for us at times. So the tips of it are pretty textured, and then it's got some ridges, and then like more ridges. I don't know if you guys can see, and then the tips. But then it's got like a hole, so this actually can double as a straw, which is really, really cool, especially if you're trying to get your child into more textures. I'll use this with like smoothies, or if I puree some new foods that he may not be a fan of. This just allows a little bit of fun and play to happen in that moment as well. So he loves this chewy. It's stretchable, it's bendable. He's had these for quite some time, and he has not used his teeth to tear through them yet, which is a great thing. If you know anything about chewies and when a child is frustrated or when they're just mouthing in general, they can do some damage, right? Like, we have straws to his cups that are visibly warped just because he's gone to town on them and did a whole thing. We've had chewies that he's like bit into pieces. Like we see here, the top is missing. This used to have a flower stand at the end. And he has demolished that in the midst of like being frustrated or just wanting to sensory chew or sensory seeking mouthing. And then he has this one, it's got little hexagons. He's bitten off the tip of this, and it has 3 different kinds of textures. This has been really great. This is pretty durable too. I just think Cubby shoves this in the back of his mouth where he does not yet have molars and just kind of goes to town, especially if he's feeling irritation back there, or just like irritation with his feelings or his environment or his surroundings. So these are super great. I'm going to link all the ones that I can remember that he has to this video if you ever want to go check them out for yourself or your littles. And then, like I said, we use chewies a lot when he's frustrated, right? And if at the time he's frustrated, he's drinking something, his straws are usually the ones to feel that frustration. Even his cup here, like, you'll kind of see the tip of that is like pretty crazy. Because he just likes that. And then, like I said, if he's even more frustrated, he's biting down and slamming at that point. Aside from a chewy, water is a really big component, right? So there are moments where Cubby's not he's not in the bathtub for a bath. He's in a bathtub just because of the body of water, and he's super calm when he's in water. He's pretty much been a water bug his whole life. And so in his swim lessons, when he would take swim classes, that was just a serene place for him, which kind of makes sense because I'm a water bug too. So that's something that we definitely have in common, just being around water, playing in water, whether it's like a small bowl or filling the bathtub up with just enough water and putting like some bath toys in there and just letting him have his time and his way. And sometimes we'll do a little extra and I'll just put on like his swim trunks or like a swim pull up or whatever and just let him have his time and his moment. You'll hear him sing. We usually will do the water thing when it's a really big reaction and none of the other things are working. And then of course we have to be home to do that. Another one is I will sing. I feel like Cubby's personal Pandora at times just because I feel like I'm always singing for him. Like that's something that he always requests multiple times a day. And then he also has people in our village that sing certain songs to him that he just loves and he only wants to hear that song from that person. Like my mom, who he calls Mimi, has to sing Itsy Bitsy Spider to him like every night. Like that's a thing. She can't shy away from that. That is an expectation that she set, and that's the only person he really wants singing Itsy Bitsy Spider to him. Another thing is that goes along with the music is a lot of times the songs that I'll sing will have hand gestures, right? To take his focus off of whatever he's not getting, whatever is making him angry, whatever he's being denied access to in that moment, or what he feels like he's being denied access to, and it's keeping his hands busy. So if he's frustrated and I know he's reaching for something or he wants something, I will distract him and be like, head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes, head, shoulders, knees and toes. And that's been a really good thing. Or it's like the wheels on the bus go round and round. Hey, Cubs, the babies on the bus go. Can you show me what the babies do? The babies on the bus go. Wah, 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 wah. So he's being shy for you guys, but he'll usually do the actions of whatever song that we're singing. And it's probably a good 30 that we rotate out with throughout the day. And then his RBTs are amazing because they sing to him too whenever he has therapy. So he's just getting it from all sides, which is definitely a calming thing. I think it helps to remind him that he's loved and he's safe and that he's cared for. And I think that's, for the most part, what children need. They need that reassurance of security, and singing is one of the best ways to provide that and to calm him. Cubby likes to sing on his own, and I'm getting the impression that he's musically inclined. Someone told me usually if somebody is pretty good at math, they're pretty good at music, just because math and music are connected. That's a whole nother thing. Cubby has his own little like baby guitar, so there are times where if he's frustrated, like he'll pick it up and just like the sensory aspect of just picking the strings and like just hearing a note. If you leave him alone, he will start singing. He'll start strumming this and singing, and it is the cutest thing. I've been trying to get it on video. No luck. I feel like the moment he knows that I'm trying to record him, he'll stop. So maybe soon I'll just like put my phone somewhere and we'll be able to capture him and all his little singing and whatever songs he's working on. Another thing that when Cubby is frustrated, I try to label whatever he's feeling, right? Like you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling angry, you're feeling sad. I definitely try to make sure to validate his feelings and put a name to them, right? So that when he has his talker device, which looks like this, it looks like that. His talker device is so super cool because it has feelings, it has food options, it has just all the things. So sometimes you'll hear me call it a talker, sometimes you'll hear me call it his words. This is so critical and essential for us because this is his voice, right? So the goal is to try to make sure we have it everywhere. The school has been so phenomenal and getting him his own device while he's at school, right? So where we would have to take this to school, from school, make sure it's charged every morning. This is something that can just stay with us, right? And then he has one at school that's strictly for school that he understands, and there's never a day that he goes without or that it's not charged. He just has access to his words, which have given him a voice at all times, which I just love. One of his RBTs is very well versed in the system that he uses called Proloquo. I will do another video going through Proloquo because it's insane. If you're not familiar with a talker device and the different systems that it can use, it's going to blow your mind. It's insane. They use it for adults as well as children. And just the way that somebody can express themselves using a device is very incredible. I love how technology is giving people a chance to have a voice who may not have had a voice previously, right? So I love this for him. And so we use this a lot too. Like if I notice that he's feeling frustrated and his words may not necessarily be right with him, we try to go get him and try to prompt him. It's still a lot of prompting at this point. He'll say like, I want to watch TV, and like let you know what snacks he wants and stuff like that. But it's still, we're still at the level of prompting and labeling with his talker device. Hopefully because he's typing and he knows how to spell words, we'll get to the point where he'll be able to type out his full request in a sentence. And then whatever he asks for, once he presses it at the top bar, it'll read it, right? Which is just so cool. Let me see if I can do a demonstration for you guys. Let's see.
I want go potty.
So I just did I want go potty, and that's probably going to trigger him, but it sounds like
I want to go potty.
you hear that? That's so cool. And it's got, I think the little boy voice is named Josh, which is just so cool because it's about a voice that would be similar to a kiddo his age. So it's just nice. And that he types in what he wants and he hears and he gets that feedback. So that helps to manage a lot of his frustration too. And then another thing on top of that is his talker is loaded with songs. So a lot of the songs that I will sing to him are loaded on here as well. So it's not just me always singing to him, is we can sing along together, which is just so awesome. I love that because then that's that. He's not just doing something or parallel playing and we're doing stuff side by side. Yeah, baby. Okay, so I wanted to see if he would pick up on this. We've been working on deep breaths and breathing and just taking time. Shout out to Sesame Street for that because we saw an episode. I have to find it so I can link it as well. That really just kind of went over like emotions and breathing. I'm sure they're not the only one. I'm sure there's some other ones that are doing it too. But this harmonica has been so awesome. So getting Cubby to recognize inhaling and exhaling and getting him to deep breathe using an instrument, right? So one, he's getting that musical feedback that he loves, and then he's also taking deep breaths, which is going to be calming in the long run, whether he realizes that or not. We got this at 5 Below, which is just super great. I know a lot of you guys are probably like, what do you do with all this music and all this sensory and all these things that make noise constantly on the daily basis, right? I have these really cool earbuds. They're called Loops. They just go into your ear really casually, and they actually reduce the noise level around you. Parents, if you don't have these, go get them. They are amazing. I want to say it was like mid $20, and it's the best thing I've ever had. So because a lot of Cubby's language right now is like screeching or screaming or yelping out of excitement or frustration or whatever it is, a lot of his communication via his mouth is not, it's like that. It's not verbal. And so at times I don't ever want to deny myself of being overstimulated, right? I'm a human, I'm a mom. I get overstimulated just like he does, right? But I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm just like, oh my goodness, Cubby, just be quiet, stop talking, stop making noise. I don't want to do that because I always want to make sure he is encouraged to use his voice in whatever capacity he's able to in the season. And so the loops have really, really helped me. He can have his tablet on 1,000. He can have his TV on 1,000. And here's the package. It looks like this. It looks like that. And then on the inside, they come in this cute, cute little case, which I love. Kind of makes it hard to keep up with too. But they're just cute and simple, just like that. And you put them in your ears, and it is literally like a night and day. Like, you see it, but it still gives you enough of a sound to where you're aware of what's going on, right? And I just absolutely love that. I love that it's like a happy medium for both of us, to where he doesn't have to stop expressing himself, but I don't have to witness the expression at such a high capacity where I feel overwhelmed. So these are super, super great. They definitely help with managing with when he has meltdowns. He doesn't have a lot of them, but when he does, there are times where he's not getting his way and he's having a meltdown, and it's like I can manage my emotion and how I parent him from a much calmer space, because my like how I'm receiving what's going on is not amplified. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. But these are just a few ways that we use to kind of like combat frustration, combat temper tantrums and things with him. And then we also do a thing where he'll put his hands on my face, I will put my hands on his face, and we're looking at each other, right? Placing hands on face kind of makes his eyes focus to where his hands are, right? And so that's been something I've used for a number of years now to kind of initiate that level of eye contact, and that's just been built over time. Building eye contact and letting him know it's okay to be frustrated, I understand. You know, like, I'm not mad at you. Would you like a hug? Do you want to sing? What do you want to do? How can mommy help you feel better in that moment? And what's been so crazy is there are moments just in life, like, I will feel frustrated and I see the same strategies I use on him, he'll use on me, which is just a full circle moment, right? He will come to me and like put his hands on my face and mama, or he'll come and give me like a deep squeeze or something, or he'll come and drag like a weighted blanket, like his little baby weighted blanket, and he'll like try to like put it on me. Like, all the different methods that I use with him, he'll do. And I love that, right? I love that we have a healthy way that we're tackling and talking about and discussing really challenging feelings, right? I think just as life goes on, we learn that I grow, he grows. We'll have even more systems for even different emotions that come up, right? I want Cubby to be a well-rounded young man, right? I want him to be able to express his feelings in a healthy way and be very firm about what he likes, what he doesn't like, but also be respectful in the same manner. And I feel like that starts now by really being allowed to express emotion, being able to understand and to have a space where you feel safe enough to do that, right? I heard a thing where it says like kids can sometimes be the most like ill-behaved with their moms as opposed to like anybody else, and for the life of me I could not figure out why. I was like, I'm the one like you're with all the time, like I accept you however you are, and that was the key. Children typically will act more unruly with their mom because they know that at the end of the day you will love them regardless. You know, no matter what happens in this life, you can handle all of their strong emotions that they may not be able to handle. And at times, I'm not gonna lie, it can definitely be challenging, but at the same time, it's so rewarding that your child will see you as such a safe space, right? and it's not always mommies. I know fantastic dads out there where they're their kids' safe space, right? So I think it's just reconciling how you want to be as a parent. And once you really determine how you want to be as a parent, everything else kind of flows. So before I had Cubby, I was very intentional on how I wanted to be as a parent and how I wanted to show up for my child. And just walking that out has been very, very interesting. Because regardless of how Cubby acts or what comes our way, I've already made the decision of how I choose to be and how I want to navigate this life. Of course, I'm open to being flexible and things like that, but the core of like our morals, our values have remained intact. And that's been so cool to see because it's going over into my kiddo, and like he's loving, he's so like helpful, he's so respectful. Now he no longer wants to give high fives to his teacher. Like they'll say, "Can I have a hug?" and he'll run and give them a hug, and that is just so cute. That's just so cute. Maybe it's because it's my baby, but that's just really cute to also see that like he's excited to do those things. He loves to do those things. When a part of being autism is that social component, and then not always being able to express their emotions in a way that we're used to seeing, right? So we are going to do our kind like Cubby moment in our ray of sunshine. Hey, Papa, you want to help me? No, he does not want to help me. So, God, thank you so much for waking us up today. Thank you again for this platform to where we're able to connect and just be vulnerable and be authentic and just tell our story the way that it is, God. I thank you that you're keeping everybody from our past, our present, and our future away from any hurt, harm, or danger, Lord. And I thank you that in these moments you are continuing to provide. I thank you that peace is a choice, God, and I thank you that joy and mercy and forgiveness are gifts within you that we can open and renew and have access to at every given point of our day, God. And so I thank you that you continue to love us. I thank you that we're on the wake-up list. I thank you that you're comforting us and nothing is by accident. So I just pray for anybody who is going through a difficult season, a season of frustration and anger, Lord God, that you just heal them, God, and that you let them know that you can handle all of their big emotions. Like I can, you've equipped me to handle Cubby's big emotions, Lord God, that you have equipped, that you're equipped to handle their big emotions, Lord God. And so we just thank you for being who you are. We thank you for loving us, and we thank you for this opportunity, God. In the mighty name of Jesus, I seal this prayer. Amen. We'll see you next time, guys.